Hey everyone, this is Glory from Felicitous Travel, and I'm gonna tell you how to travel Miami for a budget and make the most out of it. So back in January of last year, my roommate and I traveled to Miami for 1 week, and we spent a total of $632.56, and that included, for that week, the accommodations, the activities, the flights even. So I'm gonna tell you how to do that. So the first thing is, if you're one of those people that likes to book a flight, get there, and then figure it out, I'm sorry, but I don't know how you can do that if you're on a budget. Not the person to ask. So you definitely have to plan a little bit ahead of time. You have to book things ahead of time. And to that budget of $632, you do have to add $150 to $200 that we spend on Ubers and groceries. So I would say like maybe a total of $800 if you're gonna average it out, $800 for 1 week. And we stayed at a very nice condominium at a beach resort right on the beach. It included like its own private pools and amenities and all sorts of things. So it's not bad, and we did a bunch of activities. So while I was planning, there were 3 websites that I used that were Airbnb, Expedia, and Groupon. This video is not sponsored by them, by the way. I wish. But I'm telling you as a resource, you can use those websites or you can use different ones. Those are the ones that I used. I will put some links in the description box for discounts if you do decide to use those websites, just because it might help some people. But again, this is not sponsored. So we're gonna start with the flights. I use Expedia, like I said, but you can use any other website that you have used or trust. Our flights were $132.56 for round trips from New York to Miami and back. I would say play around with the different options that you have, the filters. So especially with the airports, because it might be cheaper to leave and return through different airports. It also might be cheaper to buy the flights separately, not as a package. You know, just play around with it, see what's the cheapest. The way we did it, we left through JFK and then we came back through Newark, which is in New Jersey, but then we just took the subway back to New York, and it was much cheaper that way. The second thing that I planned for was accommodations, and I used Airbnb for that. So we stayed at a condominium for 1 week, and this condominium was in a historic beach resort, and it was right on the beach, super convenient. We were literally steps away from the beach. We could see it from our window, and we had our own private pools, and there were like a bunch of amenities, bars, so it was pretty good. And I believe we paid $350 each for the room for 1 week. And this room was pretty big. I'm pretty sure that like 6 people would have fit easily, and it had like inflatable mattresses, one of those sofas that has like the pull-out bed, its own bed obviously. So you know, if you decided to do this trip with even more people than just 2, it would be even cheaper. And this is very close to like what you would get from a hotel room, and I think even better because having a kitchenette allowed us to buy groceries and prepare them ourselves and then save money that way. It's Airbnb, so you have like everything you might need. We had beach towels, the little mini fridge, games, like all sorts of things that we could possibly need for the beach and even other activities. So I would recommend that while you're looking for accommodations, to keep an open mind about where you stay, because we could have stayed, let's say, in downtown Miami, where like most of the action is in Miami, but we decided to stay in Hollywood Beach, which is a little more quiet, but we were like 30-40 minutes away from downtown Miami, and like that was like an Uber ride, and it was like way cheaper to stay in Hollywood Beach than downtown Miami. It was a better deal that we could have gotten for that price in downtown Miami. The next thing we planned for was for food. Like I said, we bought our groceries because we decided that we were going to prepare breakfast and lunch at the room and then eat dinner at restaurants. So that's a very good trick to save money on trips, because you still want to go to restaurants and try the local cuisine, especially a place like Miami where they have like all sorts of international cuisines. So it really saves you money but allows you to experience that as well, to just get groceries and prepare lunch and breakfast at your room. We spent a total of $72 on groceries, which I think is such a budget because we bought enough food for a week for lunch and breakfast. And we didn't even finish consuming all of that. We had to give a lot of it away. If you can find an Aldi in Miami, I would say that is a very good supermarket to go to get food on a budget. We did not go to one because there was like a little incident.
So we came to the wrong grocery store thanks to Glory for putting the wrong address on Uber.
I did not put the wrong address.
Acting all like...
But still, the place we found, it was $72 for all those groceries, so still pretty cheap. So for the restaurants, I use Groupon to book ahead of time and get like really good discounts at certain restaurants that we wanted to try. I'll mention two that we tried. There was one that was Peruvian and Cuban cuisine, and the second one was a hot pot restaurant. So hot pot, I believe it's from China originally, and it's more than just a restaurant. It's like a whole experience because you get to prepare your own food. So the table is prepared in a way that it has like this, like a hot plate, and then you put a hot pot on top of it, and there's a conveyor belt, and you choose the ingredients that you want to put into your hot pot and let it cook for, it tells you like, there's also like a menu that tells you the amount of time that it needs to be in there. And it's really fun, a really fun and different way to engage with food. I loved it. I'm a foodie, so like if you're also a foodie, I 100% recommend it. And it was also so much food, especially for the amount that we paid. I don't even remember. I think it was like $20 for the 20-30. I don't quite remember. They also have dessert, drinks. So yeah, Groupon is a really good place to find deals on restaurants. The third thing that I planned for and booked were the activities, and for that I used Airbnb and Groupon. So Airbnb has a section called experiences, and that is basically tours and activities that you can do through Airbnb with a host, and they are very cheap. So I definitely recommend that you check that out. So the things that we did through Airbnb, the experiences were, we went open sea paddleboarding and snorkeling. It was so fun. The host was amazing. I'm actually gonna leave his information in the description box because he was truly amazing. Aaron was so helpful and friendly. It also included fruits and water and beer at the end of the experience, and he even drove us to our hotel. He didn't have to do that, but he just offered. Another activity that we did that was like quite different was a glow-in-the-dark kayaking experience. So we went to a marina, and there were a bunch of manatees there as well. I saw the head of one, and another lady saw a couple of them. Not everyone did, but I don't know, that just made it like so much more special. And the interesting part of this experience is that you're kayaking at night and you can see like the city, and it's so beautiful, these luxury apartments and all these yachts and luxury boats along the marina, and like restaurants and bars. But also the kayaks are made of a transparent-ish material, and they also have like glow-in-the-dark, I don't know if it's what the material is, but they glow in the dark, and they also give you like glow sticks to like put on your neck and like decorate your body, whatever. But it's just really fun and different, like to do something like that. So I 100% recommend it. And the third activity that we did through Airbnb experiences was a Wynwood tour, and so it was like a tour through the street art and bars and clubs. That one is, if you're gonna do any of these, I would recommend that one because you get like a taste of the nightlife in Miami for, you know, really cheap, and then it's like a local taking you to the best places. And Wynwood itself is such like it's just such a magical area, very artsy. So there are all these murals on the buildings and the stores and the street walks, and everything is so decorated and artsy, and it's just a whole experience to go there, especially at night. So the way we did the tour, we would walk through the streets and our tour would explain the different murals and the artists, and then we would go to a bar or a club, and then we kept doing that for like 4 different bars and clubs, and then we chose which one we wanted to stay in. The experience also included an alcoholic drink. Through Groupon, we booked a gun range for, I think it was an hour, and it's just a very fun thing to do, especially if you live in a place like, you know, New York, where I don't even know where I would go to shoot a gun. And even if you've never shot a gun, I really recommend it. It's just like such an adrenaline rush, and it's just something fun and different to do. And finally, this is not included in the budget, but I just wanted to mention clothes, maybe for people who haven't traveled to America. Here you can wear whatever you want, especially to a place like Miami. No one cares. It's hot, there's beaches and water everywhere, so bring your bikini, your, you know, shorts and sandals, flip-flops. And you know, you don't even have to worry too much if you leave anything behind, because there are stores everywhere and it's just so convenient and accessible. And also, people are just so friendly in Miami. They will stop and like talk to you in the street, especially for someone who's from New York like me. It's just a different world. It feels very much like my parents' country in Dominican Republic. Like, people are very, very warm and friendly. So if you're into that, you're really gonna enjoy it. So yeah, that's all. We spent $800 on 1 week doing all of these activities and more that I haven't mentioned. So I hope this video was helpful. If you have any more questions, you can leave them in the comments below. I read all of them and I try to help the best I can. Also, if it was helpful and you enjoy it, please share it, like, subscribe, and thank you so much for watching.